this whole journey of legalizing euthanasia in the Netherlands, if you break it down and look at the history, really starts with a shifting positioning of the laws and how they are applied. And so long before one gets to the political arena, one has court cases where the laws that exist are being applied in a different way. In the Netherlands, this started in 1973 with the Gertrude Postma case. She killed her mother with a morphine overdose, a massive dosage of morphine she injected and killed her mother. And the courts then, when this case came before them, ruled with only a slap on the wrist. She got 1 week suspended sentence for killing her mother that way in 1973. And the court, in its formulations of the verdict, indicated a number of criteria which it would have liked to have seen met in how she went about doing this. And this opened the doorway. This formulation provided a kind of due procedure criteria, which were then embraced by the industry. Now, it took a lot of vigorous societal discussion, and you had this incremental shift of public opinion. But by the time a decade had passed, 1984, we get to the point that the Royal Dutch Society of Physicians, the KNMG, makes a kind of protocolized version of those principles that were set out, and makes a deal with the Justice Department that there will not be prosecution if physicians are behaving within these protocolized parameters. And this is the moment when one sees a real impact on the mortality statistics in the Netherlands, when society starts to change its behavior much more readily and rigorously. And so this is still 15 years before we get a formalized legalization of that, before the Parliament chooses to vote on a law that would make it formally legal. And we basically have the whole impact of a changed perspective take place 15 years before we actually formally legalize. And once the legalization took place, then we got an accelerated, this happened in 2001, then we got an accelerated change in the attitudes of especially the medical profession. That's the moment when physicians much more come on board. So by this time, we're up to about 86% of all physicians in the Netherlands being willing to do a euthanasia, and more than 50% having actually physically done one in the last 10 years.